Sell in May and go away. This is a very popular investment strategy in stock market and now cryptocurrencies. And in this video, I'm going to explain why this strategy is not going to work this year and why it worked the previous 3 years. There is a big shift happening in the market this year, and with the clear certainty, I can see that this summer will be a bullish summer for cryptocurrencies. In the last 3 years, we actually underperformed the market, and it was better for investors to stay afloat, stay off the market and come back in September, October, or November for these big gains. However, this time things are different. All eyes on the screen right now, and what we can see is the Bitcoin chart. We can see a very positive movement from the around 65 to basically 97K. And if you look at the YouTube right now, YouTubers are actually talking about Bitcoin retracing, and many of them are actually saying sell all the Bitcoin or sell your crypto now. If we go on YouTube and we see famous YouTubers talking about this specific phenomena, we can see Tyler Hill selling, hey, sell your crypto in May and go away. Looks like kind of a bearish thumbnail as well. Crypto Banner is also telling what the data says, right? The reason is that all these YouTubers are actually basing their decisions on the historical data. And I'm telling you the current data, and the current data is actually showing the opposite of what has happened in the previous years. So come back to the chart, okay? Now we pumped from 75K to 98K, which is great, right? Now, what I want you to observe in the chart is actually the long-term view of Bitcoin. Let me just remove the 1-day and the 3-day cycle indicators. These are not important. What is actually important is the 2-week cycle indicator. This is the one indicator that I developed myself about a year and a half ago, and it basically shows the long-term development of price of any financial asset. When this indicator is below 20, like it is right now, we're basically consolidating or we are approaching the lower bottom. And when this indicator is growing and going above 80, it is actually showing the bullish period. And basically, you don't need much interpretation. You understand that currently, this 2-week cycle indicator is actually going up. The price is also pushing up, and we can expect a little bit turbulent, but we are going to go up. Okay, this is what we can expect in the next couple of months. This indicator basically takes around 2 months to go up and about 2 months to go down, in between 4 to 6 months to perform the full round trip. Okay, now the last time it happened, it was at the end of the previous year, 2024. We see that we consolidated right here in summer and the autumn of 2024, and then we exploded to the upside. Many altcoins and Bitcoin actually went up in price. Okay, now what happened there at the top? We reached the top. We consolidated at the top and we slightly started to grind down. And basically that's the situation we're currently in. We grinded down, we made a local bottom, and after making the local bottom, we then started the move upwards. This is one of the most popular strategies that I'm using, and it's the most easy strategy to make money. However, it only allows you to invest just 2, maximum 3 times a year. Now, I want you to observe what this indicator showed you every single time in the past 4 years in May. This time is very clear. This indicator is showing up. We are going up in the long-term view in the next couple of months. However, let's go to last year, 2024 May. Here we are in the 2024 May period. What happened here is very clear. The 2-week cycle indicator was falling. So we basically made a local bottom. We went up because the 1-week cycle indicator went up, and then we spent the next 3 to 4 months actually falling down until the 2-week cycle indicator reversed. It reversed in around September 2024. So the sell in May and go away worked perfectly fine this year. Why? Because of the 2-week cycle indicator. It showed us already that we are going to go down, that we are about to fall. Let's go 1 year back into the past, into 2023. Now, the situation here is actually very similar. We were reaching the top in May 2023. The 2-week cycle indicator reached the top and started to reverse. So you couldn't expect a positive price action. And you see something very similar. Sure, we make a local bottom, we pump a little bit, we scare the investors. So we pump in the 1-week cycle top. And right after that, we spend a couple of next months going down. Okay, so here from the June 2023 to somewhere October, we were trending clearly down, altcoins and Bitcoin included. We made a bottom right here. Bottom was made in October 2023. And then after the 2-week cycle indicator reversed, we started pumping. Okay, so already by checking the last 2 years, you can see that selling may and go away has nothing to do with the saying. It rather has to do with cycles, with the timings of the Bitcoin cycle. Right after October, we're pumping again. The 2-week cycle indicator is actually going up. You don't believe me? Let's go 1 year back into the past. 2022, guys, exactly the same thing. The 2-week cycle indicator breaks in April 2022. It then starts falling in May, and it spends the next months falling. It was the bear market of 2022. The 2-week cycle indicator showed the bear market perfectly, and we just made a bottom somewhere in July 2022. Sure, we pumped a little bit up because of the 1-week cycle indicator, which basically shows that those two indicators are intertwined with each other, and then we still were going down. Okay, now exactly the same situation happened every single year in the past 3 years. I want to show you last 2 years, 2021, basically the bull market of the previous cycle. Here, same thing once again. April, May, we can see the 2-week cycle indicator breaking and falling, and we're simply going down. We were going down. We made a bottom at the end of the summer, somewhere around August 2021. And from there, again, we started to pump. We pumped all the way until the 2-week cycle indicator reached its top. We increased in value, basically doubled in value until we made the ultimate top of the market. Now, one last year I want to show you just to prove my point. We go to 2020 May. And here, the situation is totally different. Here, we wanted to buy in May and go away. We wanted to hold coins for the summertime of 2020, okay? Because here, the 2-week cycle indicator actually reversed to the upside. It was falling before May 2020. It was falling up until April or even May 2020, and it started reversing in May 2020. Here, then we started a positive action. The 2-week cycle indicator started going up. We were pumping the whole summer. The whole summer was a very positive period. Well, I cannot say that we were pumping like crazy because we are mostly consolidating, but we didn't lose in value. We closed May in profit, and from there we simply started the bull market because the 2-week cycle indicator actually was going up. This basically happened every single year. I can go on and on and on. Basically, you will see exactly the same thing. For this specific reason, I expect the market to perform extremely well in the next 2 months. The 2-week cycle indicator is the most accurate indicator in the crypto space. It always shows you the long-term view of a financial asset. You can apply it to Ethereum, you can apply it to gold, you can apply it to stock market, stocks like Nvidia or any other. And it will show you how the stock and how the financial asset will develop in the near future. For this reason, I'm actually in open positions. I'm constantly looking for new positions to open because I believe that June and July will be a very positive period for the crypto market. However, the end of December or September, October might be when the 2-week cycle indicator actually starts falling. So there is a very high chance that within the next 2 to 3 to 4 months, we will reach the top. We'll do something like this. We'll form an ultimate top in the market. Now, basically it takes a little bit more time. If you can see like here, from September to November, so basically 3 months. So there's a high chance that at the end of the summer or the beginning of September, we actually gonna make the top. And this top of the 2-week cycle indicator will actually coincide with the top of the bull market. There's a very high chance that we will do a final top before a 1-year-long bear market because Bitcoin moves into 4-year cycles. Thank you very much for watching this video. Hopefully you learned something useful. And if you want to get access to this indicator, all you have to do is go to strategymaster.substack.com. You register for the newsletter right here. It is free. Get access to the cycle indicators. You subscribe to this channel because every couple of days I'm pushing updates on what the cycles are showing, and you become a profitable trader. Very, very soon, I'm actually starting to do a live trading. I'm going to open positions, close positions, show my profit and my losses in front of your eyes, and it will be super fun. So, see you in the next one.